Hi, everybody. It is Lee Milteer. Happy that you're here. Today's topic is about the future is here and it doesn't care about your excuses. So let's start with an obvious truth. The world has changed, and it is changing so fast, in fact, that most of us can barely catch our breath before the next shift arrives. So whether you're in business, whether you're in leadership, speaking, consulting, entrepreneurship, the landscape you were operating in just a short time ago is gone. And waiting for things to go back to normal is a fantasy, and we can't afford to do that. We're in the midst of a global paradigm shift, and the only way forward is through. Now, I'm not saying that with doom and gloom, not at all. Quite the opposite, actually. I'm telling you all of this information as someone who's been in the trenches for decades, someone who has navigated many economic storms and industry shakeups. And what I do know with an unshakable clarity is this: change is not our enemy. In fact, change is our greatest opportunity if you're bold enough to embrace it. So many businesses, even fantastic ones, have not survived the speed of transformation that we're experiencing. Whole industries have literally been turned upside down. Some people were lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time, but most of us had to wake up and realize that everything we counted on as stable was suddenly very, very fragile. Personally, I lost over 90% of my in-speaking engagements, which I kind of counted on. Those engagements weren't just about stage, they were about major sales funnels, my gateway to product sales, my client referrals, and future opportunities. And for years, I had used Zoom very quietly with just private clients. Now, literally, it's my stage, and I had to adapt fast. So the external world has changed. You have to face that, but so has the internal world of our clients, our customers, our audience. It's not just about the way people think, behave, shop, trust, and connect that has actually shifted. And by the way, if you don't factor in these psychological and emotional shifts into your planning and execution, you're building your business or your life on quicksand. So let's reframe what change actually means. It's not here to punish us. It's here to awaken us. It's here to force us to shed those outdated ways of operating. It's here to stretch us out of being complacent. It's here to push us beyond the limits of what we thought was possible and literally invite us into the next evolution of our potential. You see, the people who thrive are not the ones with the most resources. They're the ones who are the most resourceful. They're the ones who become the early adapters, who lean into change, learn new skills, and remain open-minded about what's coming next. So let me be clear. The tools, habits, and experiences that got you to this point in life may not get you to the next level. What worked in 2019 doesn't necessarily work now. In fact, it actually may be holding you back, particularly mentally. You've got to be willing to make some new, futuristic choices. You got to be willing to reinvent, pivot, and by the way, not from desperation, but literally from your own power. Because the most effective business owners I coach are hyper-conscious of how they're using their time, energy, and attention across the 5 dimensions of performance, which are mental, emotional, physical, financial, and spiritual. They have to know what their thoughts, intentions, and decisions are actually creating their reality. They understand that destiny isn't something you inherit. It's something you create through daily discipline. Now, I know this sounds intense. Good. Because at this moment in history, it requires you to be intense. It requires determination, courage, and a willingness to get very radically honest about what's working in your life and what is not. It's literally, you got to stop mourning the old world and building your future with really fresh eyes. And that means letting go of resentment about what should have been. This means stop complaining about your creativity. This means accepting that, the truth is, yes, things are harder, but you were stronger and you are the X factor in your own business. It's not the economy. It's not the clients. It's not the platforms. It's you. And let me remind you of something super empowering. Your response to any circumstance is actually your true superpower. You can always have a choice. You can resist reality or you can rise with it. You can collapse or you can create. And more important, you have to take responsibility for your life, your business, your energy. And literally, the more power you feel flowing back into you, you can use that. You've got to take back your power. And there's a reason this serenity prayer has stood the test of time. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to actually know the difference. Because your power lies in your courage to change the things you can. And that starts with your own belief, your habits, and your attitude. So when you do meet adversity, defeat, and loss, don't just ask, why is this happening to me? Better question. Ask, what is the seed of opportunity in this challenge? How can I evolve through this? What new skill, product, or direction is being born out of this disruption? Because I assure you, opportunity is always hidden in adversity, but it only reveals itself to those who are looking for it. Now let's talk about why so many people resist change, even when they say they want success. The biggest reason? Habit. Because we are creatures of routine. We rely on what's familiar. Even if the current way isn't working, it still feels safe. Change, on the other hand, is completely disruptive. It asks us to think differently, act differently, make new risks, and that is uncomfortable. So we delay. We make excuses. We procrastinate. We cling to our past success as proof that we will be fine. But here's the hard truth. Past success does not guarantee future success. In fact, it can blind you. It can lull you into a false sense of security. And when we cling tightly to the way things always have been, we miss out on what could be. So why do we also resist change? We resist because of insecurity, fear of failure, fear of looking foolish, fear of loss. These are emotions and they're real, but they're not facts. Most of what we fear actually never happens. And when it does, it's usually much less painful than the energy we wasted avoiding it. So what's the solution? There are 4 essential strategies I teach my clients when it comes to thriving through change. 1, accept change as non-negotiable. Stop fighting reality, flow with it. The world doesn't owe you comfort and consistency. It offers an opportunity to those who are agile. Number 2, believe in your ability to adapt. This is crucial. You're already, think about it, you've survived many hard things in your life. You're already overcoming setbacks. You're not fragile. You are fierce. Own that truth. By the way, number 3, take responsibility. No more blaming the economy, the government, your ex-business partner, your parents. Step into leadership. Even if you didn't cause the storm, it is your job to captain the ship through it. Number 4, time to look for those hidden gifts in every change. Even unwelcome change can open doors. Ask yourself daily, what's good about this? What can I learn? What can I create? What can I let go of? Now, the people who own the future are the ones who adapt to proactive mindsets. They stop waiting for the world to hand them certainty and start creating their own conditions for success. They are trend spotters. They pay attention to emerging needs. They are curious, not judgmental. They are humble because they want to keep learning and bold enough to keep leading. And I think it's very important that we are very aware of the fact that you have big chances ahead of you. You're willing to evolve. And there are opportunities available now that didn't exist 5 years ago. So today, there are more entrepreneurs than any other point in time in history. Technology is exploding. AI is completely changing the game. Distribution channels are multiplying. Access to global market is immediate. This means you can tap into new markets, new clients, and new revenue streams if you're willing to change the lens you're looking through. So let's get tactical. Ask yourself these questions. What are the trends I need to start to understand? How are the customers evolving? What problems can I solve in my current expertise, but maybe in a new format or a new look? What skills do I need to develop now to stay relevant 1 year from now? And what outdated beliefs or methods do I need to let go of? Now understand, the greatest enemy of growth is comfort. You cannot build a future on the nostalgia of how things used to be. You have to be alert. You have to be alive. You have to be adaptive. And if you want to keep your edge, I'm going to give you a homework assignment starting today. Number 1, accept change as normal and permanent, not temporary, and not until things settle down. It's permanent. Number 2, stay open to new perspective, tools, platforms, and strategies. Treat every idea as a potential gold mine before you just automatically dismiss it. Number 3, commit to becoming a new version of yourself every quarter. You are a work in progress. You are always becoming. Number 4, get support, whether it's a mastermind, a coach like me, working with someone who's a strategist. Let me tell you, life is not a solo sport anymore. The faster you want to go, the better your support system has to be. And finally, let's talk about attraction. You must begin to develop an attraction for change, that you don't dread it, you look forward to it. You're not just tolerating it, you're not just enduring it, you're actually enjoying it. See it as a creative playground. The more you welcome change, the less you will waste precious life energy resisting it. The more you embrace change, the faster you will spot brand new opportunities before anyone else does. You'll be the first one leading the shift, not reacting to it. Because here's the truth. The future belongs to the flexible, the focused, and the fiercely competitive and courageous. Now, change is the price of being relevant, but it's also the ticket for the reinventor. And what's that reinvention? It might be the greatest version of you yet. So it's time that you go meet your future like the warrior you are. So this is Lee Milteer. And by the way, I have a free gift for you. It's called the 5 types of energy. I just talked about the energy influence, and that is mental, spiritual, emotional, spiritual, and financial. And if you go to 5typesofenergy.com, 5, F-I-V-E, types of energy.com, these 5 beautiful, wonderful videos will come to you one day at a time. They're 5 minutes each, and you will find a real sense from this video series about exactly how you're using your life currency. I'd also like to invite you to a program I have called the Alchemist Inner Circle. If you go to MILTEER.com, you can learn all about it, and we'd love to have you. All right, this is Lee Milteer. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like and share, and see you next time.